when they turn 18, telling them to go get a job, you're setting them up for failure. I mean, that's literally like taking your child who doesn't know how to swim. You never taught them how to swim, tossing them into the deep end of the pool and expecting that they will figure out how to float back up to the top. Like, if you wouldn't do that, which I would hope you wouldn't, you should not be sending your child out into the world, pushing them out of the house at 18 and expecting for them not to drown, expecting for them not to get into trouble when they're out here in the world and they have no idea what to do with themselves. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to put myself in my dream kitchen. This is just obviously a fake Zoom background, but I just wanted to visualize myself in my dream kitchen. So that's why it's not the normal blurred out background that I would typically do. But anyways, so in a previous video, I had talked about how I came across this social media post or a guy that had posted on social media that he remembers when he was 18 years old, or I guess like the week before his 18th birthday, his mom had told him that he had 30 days to get a job and move out. And it really kind of sparked a conversation in his comment section about parents like putting their kids out as soon as they turn 18. And I was really shocked to find out, or to actually see, like, how many people said that they had a similar experience or that they know somebody whose parents did that to them. I mean, I can't relate to something like that because my parents didn't put me out at 18. Like, my parents have been very supportive throughout my adulthood. And so I have not had that experience, luckily. But I sympathize with people who have. And to be perfectly honest, like, it really bothered me to read through that post because I have a son and he's 11 years old. Like, I couldn't imagine putting him out of the house as soon as he turns 18 and like expecting him to be able to, navigate through life. I'm doing the best that I can as a parent to teach him how to be independent and things like that. But I just can't see myself just throwing him out into the deep end. The reason why I really wanted to talk about this is because I really feel like our parents don't do enough preparation for us when we're in our childhood or during our adolescence to prepare us for adulthood before actually expecting us to be able to go out into the world and navigate life as an adult. And I feel like this is a very common thing. Like, even if a parent doesn't actually put their child out at 18, I still feel like the preparation isn't really there. But the expectation is that the child is supposed to go out just because they turn 18, the child is supposed to go out into the world and be able to figure it out, get a job, figure it out. And I really feel like that needs to change, specifically in our communities. Like, in Black communities, like, we got to do a better job of really preparing our kids for adulthood. Because what I'm thinking is, people will send their kids to school, right? And they'll have the expectation that because they sent them to school and, they involved them in a few extracurricular activities and some different programs in school, that's somehow preparing them to be able to go out into the world and navigate life as a successful, productive adult. And that is not the case. And a part of the reason why that is not the case is because school does not prepare you for adulthood. School does not prepare you for how to become successful. It doesn't prepare you for the things that you're actually going to need to actually be able to survive in the world once you leave your parents' house. And I think that a lot of times people overlook that. They think like, okay, well, you didn't finish school, now you can go off to college, and then when you graduate, then you can go and get you a job and you should be okay. But the thing is, school does not prepare you to be successful. That's the reason why a lot of people are always so surprised when they hear somebody say that they dropped out of school in the 7th grade and they still somehow became a multimillionaire or became successful. And they're like, everybody's scratching their heads like, well, how was that possible when you didn't even finish school? Well, I'm not saying that you shouldn't finish school. I'm just trying to make a point. But school doesn't prepare you to be successful anyway. So there's no like direct like connection between finishing grade school or finishing high school and becoming very wealthy or becoming very successful in life. That's where the reason why a lot of really successful people actually didn't even finish school. And I feel like this kind of goes, this goes kind of deeper than what I'm going to get into in this video. But there's a lot of things that school never doesn't even touch on, at least not when I was in school. I'm not sure how it is, how high school at least is now. But when I was in school, they didn't teach you anything about being an adult. I mean, we didn't learn anything. I knew nothing about credit. When I came out of school at 18, I didn't know nothing about credit, about how to build credit, how to maintain credit, what creditors look for. I didn't know anything about, I took business classes and had no idea how to run a business. But I actually was in a business program my senior year of high school. And then I went to college for business administration, business management for 2 years after that, and still had no idea how to run a business. No clue. Everything I know about business now came from experience, actual real world experience, not from anything I learned in school. And I feel like when we send our kids off into the world, we forget that, or maybe we just don't realize that they never had any real preparation for what was necessary to live your life, to live life as a productive adult. They never learned how to do that. So that's the reason why a lot of times when people go straight from school, leave school, and they have absolutely no idea. That's the reason why when people leave from school, they have no idea what to do with their life other than go and just try to find a job. Even if you think about it, think about all the people that you know that went to school, racked up all of these student loans, and then they still go to work for a job that has nothing to do with their major. And I think at least the reason why that is because the schooling doesn't really prepare you for the actual career part. It teaches you some things, but it's not really giving you that real preparation to actually work in the field. At least not. It just depends on what you go into. I'm not speaking for all majors or all trades or anything like that. I'm just kind of generally speaking, because I see a lot of people who go to school for specific majors and then end up working as like a server or a bartender or something like that. They don't end up actually utilizing their degree. And this is another thing that I really wanted to mention to you guys is that if you notice, okay, really pay attention to this. The way that school is set up is, at least grade school, right? Grade school to middle school to high school. It's the exact same setup as working a 9-to-5 job. Okay. It's the exact same setup. So, and when you're in school, what you spend, I think when I was in high school, I think we had to be at school at 7:50 in the morning. And I think we got out of school at like 2:55 or something. It was like a weird number like that, like 2:55 or something like that. And so we're in school for what, 6, 7 hours, right? So you get up in the morning, you get prepared to be somewhere for 6 to 8 hours that you don't want to be, doing work that you don't want to do, listening to someone who is acting as a dictator and who, you have to follow under their lead and do what they say. And then you get off and then you come home. You do maybe a little bit of chilling and relaxing, and then you get up the next morning and you do the same thing all over again, Monday through Friday. And then the only thing that you look forward to is weekends and a couple of vacations, maybe throughout the year. It's the exact same setup. So how can you really be surprised that it's difficult to figure out who you are or to figure out life outside of that and do anything else but go right back inside that same structure? So like when we've been in this structure since we were 5 years old. So you go from age 5 to age 18 doing that exact structure. When you leave, you're not going to go off and try to figure out how to do something else. You're going to go into that exact path, that exact structure, because that's what you're used to. And that's all you really know. And that's what we're going to find comfort in, that because that's how you've been ever since you can remember. That's been your schedule. That's been your life. So I think that's the reason why most people really can't get out of that 9 to 5 kind of mentality, because that's all you've ever known. Just to be perfectly honest, like I really believe that probably 80% of what we learned in school, at least after elementary school, so like after your basic knowledge, like your basic ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, learning how to read, learning basic comprehension skills, basic communication skills. I think after that, probably about 80% of what we learn in school is absolutely useless information. I mean, because how often now do you use trigonometry or calculus or learning about different parts of history that most of us probably don't even care about, or just all of these like useless, just to me useless knowledge. We spent 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 9 months out the year, learning like useless information that did not prepare us for adulthood, that did not prepare us for a life as an actual adult. And I feel like the way that things are taught in school, it's just, it doesn't work anymore. And I feel like the world is constantly changing, but the school system and the way that we teach our kids isn't changing. And that's the reason why they're going to have a hard time navigating the world and figuring out who they are and how to become successful and how they can bring value into the world and be a productive adult. They're going to have a hard time with that because all they ever learned how to do is sit in a room and listen to somebody talk and listen to somebody act as a dictator. And so when they go into the work, it's the same system. You go to work and you got to listen to your manager and do everything your boss says, and you have to follow the schedule that they tell you to be on. And you can only, the only thing that you live for is Saturday and Sunday. And then you only live for, having a couple of vacations a year. It's literally the same thing. It's the exact same thing. So how can we expect our kids to be able to go out here and be successful and be able to live life as an adult, as a successful, productive adult? It just doesn't make sense. We got to really start teaching our kids outside of school, like teaching them about credit, teaching them how to have a side hustle, teaching them about how to use their skills and how to use their natural given talents and how to develop those and actually use that to bring more value into the world, and how to be creators and create things, create unique products, create things that will make the world better, create things that will make things easier for other people, provide services that will make other people's lives better and easier and save other people some time and things like that, that actually will give them the opportunity and the possibility to become successful. because the just sending them to school and then coming home, and then when they turn 18, telling them to go get a job, you're setting them up for failure. I mean, that's literally like taking your child who doesn't know how to swim. You never taught them how to swim, tossing them into the deep end of the pool and expecting that they will figure out how to float back up to the top. Like, if you wouldn't do that, which I would hope you wouldn't, you should not be sending your child out into the world, pushing them out of the house at 18 and expecting for them not to drown, expecting for them not to get into trouble when they're out here in the world and they have no idea what to do with themselves. It is just not, it's not fair. I refuse to do that to my child. I am showing my son what I do to, like, as side hustles. I'm showing him different ways that he can make money, I'm exposing him to the stock market. I'm exposing him to some different things that will enable him to be able to be a successful adult at some point. So I don't want to get off too much on a rant, but I did want to talk about that. And I want you guys in the comment section to tell me, what are some of the things that your parents taught you before they sent you out into the world? Do you feel like you learned enough just in school to be able to become a successful, productive adult? Do you think that the school system needs to revamp some of their processes to kind of match the current society? You know, what is it? What are some of your thoughts? And if you like this video, make sure, guys, please support my channel by doing all that YouTube stuff, all the good stuff, like, subscribe, especially, and just, support your girl. I'm out here just trying to spread good, positive information and mixed in with a little bit of entertainment too. So please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.